Good. Then just let the people know who you are and what you do, and we can start.
Even that alone is kind of difficult. Well, so I'm Molly Dayze and I'm a YouTuber and I guess I'm an Instagram model, quote unquote. And I don't really do much. I just do whatever I feel like and put it on film and put it out in the world. Uh that's really it.
So basically, I think when the only way I found you was by chance, and because I was researching a topic about YouTube and old bygone YouTube features like video responses, and you made a video, the only video
Yes, yeah.
this year, like this or last year, that was about video responses. I want to know, does anyone misses that? And like throughout my
I
research,
missed it. I well
yeah, but throughout my research, most YouTube features, like, people don't miss it. Like, do you miss the video responses thing?
Well, I mean, I don't really know either because I was too young to even partake. So I don't know the logistics of these things, but I miss their existences and this idea. I miss old school YouTube vibes, I guess. Just way more community feeling and just kind of like interactivity and just more connection with content creators and things like that. Maybe I just haven't been watching. Maybe I just don't watch enough YouTube anymore, and have just become a crotchety old adult now. But uh, I definitely miss just I don't know. And a lot of my videos, I feel like I'm just a collection of everything that I consume. I'm like a little sponge, and then I make my own shit from that. So video responses would just be convenient, so I don't have to put everything in the description. I could just respond to somebody.
Yeah, it's a quick way to communicate with someone, and like you said, it makes the community, it makes an actual community, right? The people, grow a little bit together, and it's faster for you to connect with your community. Like, they can actually show themselves. You know how they look like. You know how they sound like. You maybe know how they tick. Like a comment, there is like for me, communication is always in 3 dimensions. There's basically the first layer, which is just meaning, like what is written and the meaning of words. Then a second layer would be like uh, pronunciation, and the third one would be like physical features, like our physical language, basically. So when you're missing 2 dimensions of communication, it's really hard to discern if someone is being sarcastic or not, or is joking, or is he being completely honest with his response. And like, there's just a layer 2 layers missing of communication when you just write something down. So video
Oh
responses.
yeah, that's true too. I didn't even think about like that aspect of it. Like honestly, what mostly I think I think it's mostly just YouTube prioritizing like views and view count, and I guess even likes is a way to communicate something, but just like valuing those things over, yeah, like comments and conversations and things that don't have intrinsic value per se.
Yeah, yeah,
Um
it's
I
pretty
don't know.
it's pretty much that. It's like YouTube is and has been for quite a while a company that is not really interested in uh building anything more than money. like it's fine. They are a company, they're supposed to do that, but it's like, yeah, we're gonna just cater to this specific type of groups. And even though they might present themselves to be very open and very progressive, they're not. They're actually not. They, they're actually very much
No,
corporate.
no,
Yeah,
definitely.
because I hear this a lot. Like, YouTube is left wing, and it's like, where the fuck do you get that from? Like, every policy they introduce is pretty much conservative. Like, I don't get
Yeah,
the,
the creators are left wing, but yeah,
yeah, but like every
and I think
decision.
it's all algorithms too. So
Yeah, even the
algorithms can't be
even the
left or
algorithms
right.
are more like, yeah, we want established media, we want the trusted places, we want the old guard, we want basically, yeah, we want basically to keep the status quo and nothing disruptive. So every time I see a tweet where YouTube is saying, oh, look at this, and we're so look at our messages. I'm like, you're not really doing, like, everything you say is going against what you're actually doing as a company. Recently find out, like, they made $50 billion, but that's not true. They actually made $80 billion in revenue in 2019. And it's like, is it so difficult with $19 billion, like, to have an actual, room to not only concentrate on money, but investors want more and more money. It's like, it's always more money. There's nothing, never enough money. It's
Yeah, I
difficult.
could go on and on about the problems with money and things, but I,
Oof.
I, I
Yeah.
really enjoy. I feel like YouTube is still an enjoyable platform
Yep.
so basically I've given up this idea that I'll ever be monetized, or that even if I do, it's like I don't have dreams of becoming a YouTuber per se,
Yeah.
but I have enjoyed like just putting myself out there and creating videos. And honestly it's just, for me, it's I vlog mostly, so
Mm-hmm.
it's nice to keep track of how I've been feeling day to day. And just I like I pretty much came to the conclusion that I was bothering my friends too much by repeating the same shit, so I just made videos and threw it online instead. And it's been fun. So if you go in with the mindset of that it's not for money, it's really for you, like you can still enjoy YouTube, I think, even though it's heavily saturated and whatnot, like
would you
whatever.
would you say you are like an hobbyist YouTuber?
Yeah, I guess, you know what, yeah, recreational, because what other way can I don't even qualify as anything else, like.
I mean, it that I in the circles I am around, like, small YouTuber subreddits and small YouTubers in general, and I have quite a big uh, group of YouTubers that aspire to be like, do this as a full time job. We talk about this, and some are very of this idea that you have to do it for years without thinking about getting anything from it. And there's like people like me that think, I do think if I put enough work into it, I should get something back. And I'm not only doing it um, for recreational purposes. That would be unrealistic. That would be lying to myself. Like, that would be basically lying to myself. But I got to a point where I can't not do videos anymore. Like, my brain literally won't let me. If I miss a week, I would be
Yeah, totally.
I would be very, like, I don't know, like, what no, maybe I got used to making videos and that's why I can't not make videos anymore. But there's some sort of drive slowly. Like, do you have the same thing? Like, even though you're doing this
I
a hobby?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel it. Yeah, because it's just one of those things, like what is it, like 21 days to form a habit or whatever. Like I
64 or something
used
like
to
that.
do daily vlog, something like that. So it's definitely just like a habit now. I mean, I only have 45 subscribers, who I love very much, even though like but I don't feel any pressure to make videos for them in a way, because in a way no one is watching really.
Mm-hmm.
So no, or at least like if I miss a day, only like my best friend who follows me, and she'll just text me then, and she knows what's up or
What the
whatever.
fuck is
So
happening?
it hasn't been, yeah, it's really not a huge deal. But I feel that way, like, yeah, like if I almost feel guilty when I like, I've used to daily vlog, and now I've definitely decided to take one day off.
Mm-hmm.
And just like announcing that was feeling like, oh, okay, like I guess like I do have a almost addiction, or like, yeah, like it's wired now. I mean, I social media, that's the thing about social media too. Like I fucking love notifications. I love the likes and all that stuff. So it's all just like dopamine and stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely enjoy making content and seeing it grow and stuff. So I get that. And honestly, like what you said about the small YouTubers wanting it to be a full-time job, I don't think YouTube's the platform for, I mean, like, unless you're already big right now, that's very risky.
Yep.
Like YouTube as a platform is clearly like I wouldn't say it's gonna be like, I mean, trend on YouTube, or the trend on Twitter, almost like every other month is YouTube is over party. So I mean, not that that means anything. Nothing on Twitter really means anything. But I mean, I wouldn't put all my eggs in that basket. Even if I
Yep.
were to just get 1,000 subscribers overnight, I would not jump. And I mean, it's always a bad idea to put all your eggs in any
Yeah.
one basket, but
Well,
yeah.
it is actually it is actually not a requirement to have millions and millions of subscribers. You actually just need 1,000 true fans, and it's like a theory from a guy, I can remember his name, but basically 1,000 true fans. If you account for something like they are willing to give you $10 a month, you know, with 1,002 friends
Yeah,
times
that's
10,
true.
you're already above the average. Like you have 100,000 a year. Of course, cut like 40 to maybe 30. If you're smart, you can like 30% tax, maybe 40% tax. So let's cut in half. You still have 50k a year, you know, and that with that you can live comfortably. And depending on,
That is very true. You're right.
so you actually just need 1,000 true fans, and that's it. You don't need millions of subscribers. How's the guy called? The guy's called
Which is good.
Kevin Kevin Kelly. He's the book is called, or his theory is the Technium. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
on
I've definitely
1,002
heard of
fans.
that. I've definitely heard that number before.
Yeah, Kevin Kelly is the guy.
But
So
that's
yeah,
interesting.
what you want to say?
I mean, it's nice. It's nice because it allows, like, I mean, because it is so saturated, but it does still allow for communities to pop up and like
Yep.
niche things to happen and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know. YouTube. I've got a mixed relationship, so I'm gonna watch what I say since I still use the platform. But
No, I pretty much, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty much, I don't want to go into conspiracy theories, but something happened with me because I had one video called "Fuck Disney" and the other one video called "Fuck YouTube," and the "Fuck Disney" one was fine. The "Fuck YouTube" one was considerably like it was. It seemed like, is this being suppressed? Is this like not getting so much traction just because of the topic, or is it because YouTube and "fuck" are in the same sentence? So yeah.
yeah, definitely that.
It's like,
I
I
can
don't know.
confirm your conspiracy for you right there.
So since then,
I mean,
I
even my video. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I have such a small pooling that I can't really
yeah,
make conclusive data
that's
on
why.
anything.
If I
But
had like a bigger channel, I would say, okay, that's definitely YouTube is definitely suppressing something here. But I don't have enough data on that, so I can't really claim that. It's just weird. It just looks weird on the statistics thing. Um,
honestly, though, I think the biggest issue with YouTube is the children, and not children, not children themselves. Just because they're the only ones who've got time to watch all this
yep.
crap. And so, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say
I
there.
mean, that's I hear that a lot, that only children have time. But how many adults watch television? Like a lot of television, like 2 to 4 hours a day, right? A lot of people, a lot of adults watch television, especially older people. And to claim, oh,
That's yeah.
only
But
children
you're not
have
gonna
time.
change that.
Yeah, only children watch. Like,
Well, you're not gonna get the boomers onto YouTube, but I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube still, but I have to admit that I do watch a lot of like late shows. So my
mhm.
watch time has been significantly taken up by corporations with money, but that's kind of the way. That's kind of the way of the game.
Yeah,
Like you gotta adapt a little. But I don't know, and I find I struggle to enjoy a lot of the old YouTubers that I used to watch sometimes. To
yeah.
be honest, I don't know.
So I actually have one
Just
boomer.
like check up on them. I'll be like, what the heck?
I actually have
You have a
one.
boomer?
I have a one boomer watcher. Shout out to Garth, by the way, best guy.
Shout out
Um,
to the boomers.
yeah,
I like boomers, okay? Boomers should not have a negative connotation at
boomer
all,
boom.
but neither should millennial.
There are two difference. Okay, boomer is once the time where they're born, and then there is the boomer mentality, which is two different things. Like the boomer mentality, everyone can have. Everyone can have a boomer mentality. But he said something that was very interesting. He said, with time changing, older people getting more tech savvy, they are finding YouTube. So one of the reasons that could be that like those big corporations like late night shows and established media is getting traction is because the old guard, the old people, the boomers are getting on YouTube and watching that, watching late night shows and typical
Oh,
media.
interesting.
Yeah,
They're siphoning the boomers onto it. That's
exactly,
kind of cool, though. I mean,
exactly.
but yeah,
Because they also have a lot of time. They are
because
more
boomers. Oh my gosh.
because maybe they are already in how's it called when you stop working? Forget the fucking word. Uh,
Tired?
when you're retired, you have also a lot of time. So maybe they are watching. They are retired. They are in their homes. They're watching YouTube, and they watch the established stuff that they already know from TV.
Yeah, and maybe if you make a video called like fuck Jimmy Kimmel, it'll be in the suggested, and they'll find you.
I can't really. The guy. I mean, as much as the guy's like has his faults, I can't really do something. Like, there's nothing really to
Oh, well,
uncover.
no, the word fuck is just the clickbait. It's just
Oh,
the
okay.
clickbait. You could go on and talk about how he's a cool person. I
Yeah.
mean, I like all late show hosts for the most part, but okay. I'm very skeptic about idolizing people
Yeah.
in general.
The
But
it reminds me of the genius cult back in the back when it was about literature. Like Schiller and Goethe, they were considered like geniuses, and still until to this day they're considered geniuses. And it's like, yeah, not really. They're just young writers that a lot of people liked, and that's why they got their big break. But they're not geniuses. Even like someone like Albert
yeah, but
Einstein.
that's another mentality
Yeah,
of like people
but that's the same. That's the same type.
intellectual
The same
and
type of
whatnot.
thing. It's a cult. Like, it's the same type of thing. Like, the person is more important than what they write.
Yeah, honestly, everything becomes a cult over time. It is so impossible. That's why I never ever I try very hard to not urge people to follow me unless they really want and this and that, because I would, oh my god, the last thing I want is a cult on my hands.
I mean, you always have going to have orbiters. People that really like you, and they develop this parasocial relationship with you, and therefore they're like going to orbit around you and like defend everything you say, and but they also can turn fast really quickly. So if you do something wrong or they don't like, they're gonna hate you immediately. So it's always difficult to keep a balance. That's why when you grow and grow and grow,
Honestly,
no, please.
I got a small taste of that from the Yang Gang. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how much you know about my backstory,
a
but
little bit, but
yeah,
you
I
can.
got
But
this.
go.
Yeah,
Just tell the people.
I don't. Well, I don't want to. I don't want to shit on anybody. But basically, Andrew Yang owes me $2,000, and and so I had. Well, yeah. So I went to work on his campaign, and I was promised this money to relocate by not only one staffer, like 3 staffers before I signed on. I never got that money, so I ended up resigning because I was breaking down and having horrible mental issues because I
Yeah.
couldn't afford to live there. Like, I only moved for that job, so when I had to step away, I was and when I announced it too, because I had pretty much gained like 400 followers on Twitter for
Yeah.
pretty much nothing other than having a blue hat on my Twitter profile, and I had to let them know that I was stepping down, and I got like, I mean, not a lot, but it's enough. It's on a small scale, but I felt very strongly. But I got a little bit of backlash for like I was told by somebody to like pretty much like stop whining about it and stuff and like get over it, or like saying that maybe I was just like shitty at my job, which I was not. But even if I was, like, a contract is a contract.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, like, and just being like, wow, like I was kind of in a cult, or at least it felt very culty. Like, oh god, like to blindly follow or defend anybody
Yeah.
is like so dangerous, so dangerous.
mean,
Like, I'm
it's the
so
same.
much like for free thinking now.
It's the same thing that like Bernie Bros are accused of, which they are certainly like a cold part of it. Same thing as the conservatives are accused of. Same thing as, like, there's always a cult part to the whole thing, because people
Yeah, you
like,
really can't avoid that.
yeah,
It's tough,
people like,
especially with politics. There's too
yeah,
much human emotions,
yeah,
anger, like there's way too much emotion involved, and none of it is personal. It's really not.
yeah.
It's a matter of like, I mean, government shouldn't be personal. It should really be like, how are we gonna help the most people with the least amount of money and least amount of legislation or whatever. I don't know. Oh
Yeah.
God, like
Funny enough, funny enough,
I mean,
JRAG, JRAG, the guy that does political satire in YouTube, he had like a video talking about, oh, everyone in politics is rational and everything, but he always uses at least two layers of satire. Like when he says something, never trust it. He's probably meaning the other thing. And one of the points was
yeah.
everyone is rational. And it's like, yeah, politics should be like that. Everyone should be rational and think about how to best solve a problem. But then you get immediately accused of being a fucking centrist. Uh, but you know, it's not rational. It's about emotions. It's always about emotions, and it doesn't matter which country you are in. It's always about emotions.
I mean, well, every government is human rights, so it's fair that it gets emotional, but it's unfortunate that that most governments aren't really doing their job. Clearly, Germany is censoring its uh users now, or at least with the laws and
Yeah.
stuff, until they realize it's a fucking gold mine out there. All these kids with their tablets just watching and watching and watching and putting those ads through.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I've basically given up a little bit. Like I'll still vote and educate myself, but I feel like if you want to make a change in the world, like as tacky as it is, you just got to get out there and do it yourself, and just, I don't know, take care of your neighbors and urge them to do the same. I don't know.
I think I talked with like my artist
My
Cranity.
TED talk.
Yeah, with my artist, I talked about this, like Cranity. She's like a Latina from and lives in the U.S. Studied there, lived there for most of her life, and she said, "Well, or we came like to a conclusion. Basically, it's easy to change something locally. Like locally, you can do a lot of stuff. Like there, you have a lot of power. But when you goes up to the meta level, like to the city, to the state, to the country, it's
Yeah.
really difficult as a individual to have enough power. Or if you have enough money, sure you
Have you
can.
ever been to the U.S.?
I have never been to the US, but I lived for a lot for quite a while in Brazil because I'm originally Brazilian.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there, like, you do not. I mean, even your avatar has some melanin there. I would,
Oh no,
I
I'm
would have
black.
not guessed
Yeah.
German. Okay, okay, all right. I don't know how much you wanna remain anonymous and whatnot, because I know you do your videos with
Yeah.
faceless and
Yeah.
all that stuff, which is
No,
kind
I
of
do
cool.
that with like a character. It's like you can like if someone knows me, they probably can recognize me by voice and by how like my
Yeah,
stature
okay,
alone. Yeah. Someday.
it's cool. Uh, I almost wish I had went that route, but at the same time, like even like Dayze is obviously not my last name. It's totally an alter ego.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun. It's fun to like kind of be. You know what? Life is as Elon Musk says, life is a simulation. So this is my avatar for the simulation,
That's a
and
fun
it's
thing about the internet,
pretty
right?
similar to me myself.
That's a fun thing about the internet.
Yeah, yeah. It's the wild wild west. I still think that's true, and I yeah.
Even though like companies have been trying to monopolize it, it's still the wild wild west, you know. Even if if they're trying to ban everything, you can still find videos that are very edgy and very provocative. You can find porn on YouTube if you want to. Like it probably takes me 2 seconds to find it. It's not that difficult actually. So even though they're trying to
Yeah.
monopolize and control
Yeah.
everything, they're never gonna be able to really do it.
If they were to, just another platform would just pop up, and
Yep.
that's
Yep.
pretty much what happens. Like there's so many social medias, and uh, yeah, when one becomes unusable, pretty much, another comes up, and that's why I did want to bring it back to the boomers. It is so funny the way that they use Facebook. I feel like they use it like how we did, like 10 years ago, commenting on all these like random posts with like emojis doing very like basic math and stuff, and like, oh, what is French fry, French plus French fry equals hot dog or whatever, and then like, yeah, and then you see all the boomers commenting like
I can get it. Karen, get the calculator.
but it's cute. It's cute. Like I want to let them enjoy it and
Yeah.
whatnot.
It's like
But what were you saying? you were saying something like kind of a second ago, and then I cut you off before I asked you if you've been to the USA.
I never been to the USA, but I've been to like
You
South
sh- I mean,
America.
you should.
Like South America.
Yeah,
I lived there because I'm from
Brazil.
there.
Yeah, that's
But
so
yeah,
cool.
I
That's so
will
cool.
visit America probably in the next few years. I've quite a few like
Well,
I have one.
see how the elections go, and then
Yeah,
come.
I have one friend, like one internet friend. Like we became friends through the podcast. That you know what? Here's the thing. Initially, the channel was for two things. One, to express my love for indie games. Two, to actually have something to do when I come home. And three, to actually make friends. Like because I'm an internet person. So internet persons, you know,
Aw,
they kind of
that's
are,
cool. That's kind of cool.
yeah, the internet persons, they kind of have like this extreme views on things sometimes, and we like to talk a lot about we also like to talk about shit. And like you said, you annoy your friends when you talk a lot about stuff, because it's taxing sometimes to talk about it for hours. But we are interested in this kind of stuff. So the internet provides a place where you find
I
weirders like you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got disconnected there for a second.
Yeah.
The last thing I heard
Yeah.
was about, well, we were just talking about internet friends, because I definitely have
Yeah.
about a 50-50 split personally. Like, you clearly know a lot of people, which is like kind of cool. I wish I could be like coming in here like, oh yeah, my friend here from so and so. Like, no, I don't even have that like that. But
So the one,
but about the USA,
yeah.
like oh no, I don't. We're kind of, we got like 5 conversations going on in one conversation.
Yeah, it's like the delay is strong. The delay is strong as well. Let's try something out. Wait.
Yes, I can. Do you edit these, by the way, or like
Oh
cut
yeah,
some of
I
this stuff?
do. It's
Oh, that must be so annoying.
it's not annoying. It's just that's really time consuming. Like it takes a while to get through. I need most
To me, time consuming equals annoying.
annoying less. It's just really time consuming, and I'm trying something new. So we will see. I'm trying to make everything more like streamlined so that I have to edit that much, but I still have to cut most of it. So yeah, it's not as easy as it sound. It's not as difficult as it sound either. So it's something in during the middle. But yeah, you were saying USA. I should go. Should go visit. Tell me why. Tell me
You
why.
should, but you should visit the USA because the places are so distinct. Like, California is so different from New York, which is so different from even like New Hampshire,
Yeah.
which is different from like, which is what we were talking about. Like, oh, like the idea that like the U.S. government can oversee the whole country is just like is so false, and it's so such a monumentous task. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know, it's frustrating because like everyone, I mean, if you're on Twitter, like, you see everyone wants their rights and deserves their rights or whatever, but
Yeah.
a lot of people like forget the rural areas and the farmers and stuff, which is
Mm-hmm.
why Trump wins. And these people shouldn't be getting forgotten either. But yeah, I don't want to. I guess I shouldn't have said too much about that, because I'll go
No,
way. I
it's
could talk for hours about politics and stuff,
no,
but
it's good. I'm fine
um,
with that. I know a lot of creators shy away
you,
from that. But it's like, why do you shy away from it? It's like it will affect your life as well. Like as a content creator, at some point, politicians are going, or at least companies. Well, companies are already like affecting content creators if they believe it or not. Like they, I made a video about Disney, for example. They have the copyright for Mickey Mouse for until 2024, and trust me, they're gonna extend that. And that's one of the reasons
yeah.
why YouTubers have huge problems with copyright problems. It's because Disney, it's one company. They are abusing the system, and it's like, how do you solve that? Well, politically. So if you would be wise to choose a candidate that actually knows about the topic and is willing to change something. So even though a lot of people shy away from politics, politics will affect your life every day, every single day until you die. Yes.
Oh gosh, that got depressing at the end there.
No,
But yes,
it's not
yeah.
depressing.
I
It's just
mean,
like it's the reality that a lot of people like to shy
it's a
away
fact of
from.
life. Yeah.
because, like I said,
Yes.
politics is
Which is very
emotional.
frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, politics is
People
emotional.
who choose to ignore it are worse than people who are way too deep. Like just
Yes.
because you're pretty much giving up your rights
Yes.
and choices and things like that. But all right, let's talk about what we were talking about before. That was kind of more interesting.
Oh, fuck politics. Politics bad. No, sorry.
Well, it's politicians that are bad. Politics are fine. Politicians are bad.
Yeah,
Just because that's where it gets a little too emotional
it's
about
the human
like the cults
component,
and
right?
people
The
with
human
power.
component. The human component of the
Yeah, because
problem.
basically the problem is that we only really relate to things when they're human. Oh God, but the word, like not humanified, but like like made to look human and seem like human, or just like
Yeah.
be more relatable and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. People just need to be able to think a little more. What is it? Objectively,
Mm-hmm.
objectively.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. And
Oh.
by people, I mean me. Like I'm I'm always a hypocrite, and I hate being like, oh, like you need to do this, people need to do this. Like I'm really reminding myself all the time. So
Well,
uh,
I always like the content creator I follow. He always says everyone has skeletons in their closets, and that's pretty much true. Everyone is a fucking hypocrite, and no one can escape that. That things, and there are problems that are more nuanced. You might say this is okay, but this is not okay, even though it's almost the same situation. Like there you draw the lines in at different points. For some people, this is okay. For some people, that is not. That is okay. For some people, everything is bad, and that's why it's so emotional, because it's difficult to detach your position from your identity. That's why, for example, religious people get very offended when you talk about their god, their religion, their traditions, and so on. So it's always about the person itself and what they attach their identity to, and it's
yeah.
really difficult to separate those two things, and you have to train to do that, because otherwise you're not even aware of that. But you probably have topics where that you relate, or that you are connected with identity. And if I would try to bring something up and talk about it, you would all immediately go into defense mode. So yeah, it's every ingrained in
Yeah,
every human.
that's big facts. People need to just calm. Well, we all need to like just hold ourselves accountable first of all, because I feel like if we all operated as perfect people, then we wouldn't have to police each other.
Yeah.
If we were just like actually self-policing and being like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be racist or whatever. I
Yeah.
don't
Oh yeah,
know.
that's pretty much true. Like I have my fair share of.
The internet is so good, but also so bad.
Wait. Anyways, I have my fair share of stories that happened to me, about people being dumbasses. Do you have your fair share? Like, do you have one very very bad one? I never have one because I'm too stupid to understand what the person is trying to do.
Of like racism
Yeah,
specifically, or like
yeah. About racism, for example.
um I think I get it a lot less because I'm a female, but it was definitely way more prominent as a child because children are nasty little fucks
Yes.
and will say the ugliest things. But I mean, I definitely get even like small things here and there. Like even in New Hampshire, like more than one person asked me if Andrew Yang was my father, and I know that it was like I know that it was meant in good, in not bad spirits, but come on, people, like
Yeah, yeah. It's it's the like the nothing happened that was really bad to me. But I think I told the story already. But when it's in the house I'm in right now, so the it's an older pair, like literally boomers. And at the time when I came here to have an interview, I had like long beard and a little bit of longer hair, so I looked very foreign with the darker skin as well. So it looks exotic. But my dad, my stepdad, is like 2 meters high, blonde, blue eyes, and he was with me. So if I was alone, I would probably not got the apartment I am in. So because the wife actually the husband was fine. He was like, great, it's just an old man, he's
Yeah.
open for everything. But the wife like just looked at me like, and I didn't notice at the time, but my dad said, yeah, she was like basically checking you out if you're
Following you.
if you're not like a
Yeah.
terrorist or something like that. Like, okay, fine.
That's
I didn't
so
notice
bad.
it. I didn't notice it. That's why I said I'm too dumb to understand that
Because
someone is.
you're ignorantly like ignorant is bliss. So you
Yeah,
want to assume that someone's not going to look at you up and
yeah,
down and judge you immediately, but
yeah. I'm
it
literally
happens.
too I'm literally too stupid to understand that someone is actually trying to be a racist, because that doesn't go into my mind. Like, I don't understand the concept of it.
I mean, you kind of got the worst end of the stick. Like for me, as an Asian woman, my stereotypes are okay and manageable because
Yeah.
the worst one is that I'm bad at driving, and I like I get the look whenever I get pulled over and I roll down the window. I see the look, but that's like the worst of my problems. Really, I don't get like I don't know, shot by police. I don't want to like be I don't
Oh,
want to be
that's a
too
good thing
radical
about
here, but that's
that's a good thing about German police. They shoot only 3 people in year. So yeah, that's the highest kill count of police.
wow, that's I mean, oh, it's so frustrating, and it's just,
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's so sad because we exist at a time. Well, it's always like the pendulum, the good and
Yeah.
well, I don't know what I'm talking about, but like the pendulum swinging and whatnot, and but also like everything good comes with so much bad because we're technically in the best time to be alive,
Yep.
but also like so much negative stuff. So it's so sad because I feel like humans have so much potential
Mm-hmm.
and we are problem solvers. And if we all just kind of got on the same page about like what we're trying to do, because everyone, what I learned from being in a political campaign, which I do miss talking to strangers and things like that, but pretty much everyone wants the same thing. They all just want to like live happily and do their thing. The problem is when you tell other people how to do their thing. Yeah.
I get that. I get that. And it's one thing you said, what humans are missing, like a common thing, and that's what I hear a lot. Like, if an alien attack came tomorrow and it was like a decent threat of danger, probably everyone would get together and try to work something out. There would still be infighting, but less, because you work
Yeah,
together
yeah,
or you
that's true.
die. But that's one thing that is maybe missing, like a common goal as a human race.
A threat?
No, 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 a
An
common goal.
existential threat?
No, no, like, but I mean, like, it doesn't need to be a threat. Like, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah,
I hear that a lot, but
yeah.
that's not maybe not true. You just need the common goal, and maybe develop a common culture, a common language, like not only like language in
Well,
the terms of
I
understanding,
mean,
but like a cultural language. So it if it's a human race, we had like a common goal to strive towards and to work towards. I don't know, like colonizing Mars. That I don't know, like something like that. Um, then maybe people would pull together and put their differences aside. But even then, there still would be infighting. I think, you can never get rid of everything. That's unrealistic. There are like the too far gone people, the people that doesn't matter what you
yeah.
tell them, they will never accept what you have to say.
I think the biggest thing that does absolutely cross all party lines is climate change. But of course, there's like money interest groups
Yeah.
that still need oil and stuff like that. But that's the closest thing we have to that
Yeah.
is sustainability. There's definitely a lot of people that I've met like that was their first priority because I did have to when I was canvassing, I had to ask people like what's the most important issue to you, and that came up
Yeah.
probably the most other than healthcare.
Oh, you got Americans in healthcare.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm
But there's
sorry.
so much money to be made on healthcare in the USA. It's really it's a joke, and it's so sad because it's so sad that that's an issue because I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why I don't like talking. I don't like talking about politics, not because I don't like to talk about politics,
Once
but
you
there's just no
once you
way for
start,
it to
yeah.
end positively. Yeah, one it just goes downhill.
Do you also have like other than politics, like topics when you start doing something, you just gonna continue until you break down or until your energy is completely depleted? For me, for example, I have this series called Early Access Investigation, and once I get into a company that I researching, I've researched a company for literal hours on end. Like the last one I did was 0 Point Software. They make like a game 6 years ago. It's still in early access, by the way. And the other one that I really got into was Epnori. They're like a Korean company. I found out they have like $2 billion from grant from a government. They made 6 early access titles that are still in early access. It's $15. Their site is in Korean, Chinese, and English, and their emails are gone. One of their CFOs is also a CFO of the another company, and they share a phone number with another company. So I got really into it, and I like took a while to
Yeah.
get through everything. They have like topics like that where you just go into it, like besides politics, go into it and then work until your energy is completely gone.
First of all, that is the Lord's work that you're doing, honestly. Like I cannot like so essentially my answer to that is no because I don't have the attention span to go deep. And also, I was thinking, I do think lately I need to do some more research based videos and things
Mm-hmm.
like that, and do things like that. But like, oh my gosh, my big thing is like I have motivation problems and things. So for me, I mean, to talk about things, mm, I mean, I could talk about like mental health and where I
Mm-hmm.
want things. I could talk about like what the future that I want the world to be, which is like still politics, but not reality politics, I guess. And but I don't think I have. I mean, because I don't really. The problem with me is that I am like a jack of all trades, master of
Mm-hmm.
none. So I really am a little bit too much all over the place, spread way too thin, and really like I move very quick and I get bored with things very quickly. So I guess not entirely. Not entirely. I wish though, damn, now you make me wish I was like focused on one thing or that I had like something going for me.
I mean, it takes a while
Or like
until you. It takes a while until you like get into something, right? Like it's for me, it's for example super unrealistic if you like basically children. You say them, yeah, now you have to choose a university and a field of study, and that you will study for the next 3 years, and after that you have to study two
yeah.
more years to get your master's degrees. Like this is completely unrealistic. I didn't like I barely know now what I actually want to do. I have like a decent idea, but I don't really know. And every adult that claims they know what they're doing is fucking lying. They're good at pretending, but they're lying.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and like it takes a while till someone gets like the idea, oh, that's what I want to do. I imagine even like fairly successful people that in their fields, like biologists or uh, biologists, entertainers, I don't know, politicians, still they are like, I actually don't know where I want to go. Like even they are like that. Sure, you have certain drives and certain goals, but they don't really know. Like stop pretending you do know. Like it's for me the first time I noticed that is like actually nobody knows what they want to do. They're all lying. They're all like, yeah,
We're all faking it until we
yeah,
make it.
yeah, fake it until you
But no
make
one's
it.
made it yet. That's the problem. No one is making it.
Yeah, yeah.
And who's to say? I mean, this is to bring up like mortality and things like that, but who's to say that? I mean, I guess, do you believe that people have purposes? Like,
No,
I don't think so. I don't think that we're put on this earth for one thing.
no, I don't think
And
there's a purpose.
y- and with life expectancy increasing, like why the fuck am I gonna have one career? Like we're pretty much living essentially like two
Yes,
lifetimes now.
yes. Preach the word. Like I always go a step further. I'll always go a step further and say, imagine someone lives for 200 or 300 or potentially forever, right? At some point, can you really do like computer science for 100 years without getting bored? Like sure you can get better at it and at some point you're gonna master it. It's like, can you really do that for the rest of your life? I don't think you can. I don't think you can. or someone like a doctor, like a medical professional. He's like, he's saving lives left and right, and at some point, like, I don't want to do this anymore, and then he becomes, I don't know, like a fisherman, and after that he becomes an accountant, and
Yeah,
after that he becomes, I don't know, like a mountain climber or something like that. So the more life you have, the less important I think the job becomes, and the more important the experiences become. And
completely.
I already like to live in that direction. Like, I have no real connection, or no real, how's it called, attachment to my job. Like in
Offense or okay,
if I don't live for my job is not my life. And I think a lot of people, once they, I don't know, lose religion or something like that, they connect their purpose to their job, which is fine. I think it's fine, but I don't think it's healthy, and that's why I already don't do that. I like to do my own stuff. I have my own ideas about life, and how long I actually want to live. I would like to live 200 years, to be honest.
oh, jeez, that's but 200. But why 200 and not 300?
I would like to live 300 years if it's possible.
I
Forever. Like, a lot of people
well,
think
oh,
for living
I'm
forever.
not the right person to talk about this about living because I struggle with mental
Oh,
health
okay.
and all this stuff. So yeah. I mean, we can still talk about it, but like you're like, oh, I want to live till 300. I'm like, I'm 50. It's
It's
good.
more time. It's more time. More time to figure something out.
Well, okay, so I guess you just want to be the master of all trades. And you want to like experience everything that life has potential to offer you
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
things like that.
And it
I mean, I wouldn't want to live forever, but I would want to be able to like bystand like and see how humans
like a
progress
watcher.
and things over time. But yeah, I want to be a creeper and just like or be like a bird and just fly. Yeah, I just want to fly.
The other thing about the living for a long time, people would think differently. Like, something like climate change would be an actual problem that people would think about, because they live long enough, they could see the consequences, and maybe they would think, maybe we should deal with that problem. Right now, it's like, yeah, it doesn't will not affect me. Like, nobody that's living right now will probably be affected by the whole thing. We will be long gone when it's like shit's hit the fan. Um, so
Yeah.
nobody cares because we're gone by then.
I mean, that's objective. I think the way we are now, well, only because of the scientists who are saying that we're a little far gone. Because I wouldn't be surprised if shit hit the fan in 30 years, truly,
that,
based
that
on.
would be fast.
Well,
That would
I
be really
also
fast.
live. It is fast, but I live in New England, so we used to have seasons. We don't really have seasons anymore. So I've
Ooh.
seen a a huge transfer. I mean, we do, but like I've seen huge transformations in my lifetime, and I'm only 23.
Yeah.
So I definitely could see shit going down real hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how like if you guys are a little more natural in Germany and all that stuff, but or in Brazil too, probably was probably the environment was probably a little cleaner. But
Yeah.
I've seen like yeah, no, I feel it. I see the leaves. I mean the leaves still change color, but there's way less trees than there were, and
Yeah.
it's way less full. It's still beautiful, but it used to be more beautiful and
Yeah.
stuff. Like
But imagine someone like live already 200 years. He or she or they would actually see the difference. They would actually have the
yeah,
experience of,
yeah,
oh wow, this is completely different from what I remember when I was younger. Not as a kid, but when I was younger, like 120. Like, when I was 120, it
yeah.
wasn't that warm, or we had different seasons. Like, someone like that would actually have also the experience, the life experience, and not only like numbers, because humans really bad with numbers. Like, statistics are like not like a inherent trait of humans. Um, One of the things that Sam Harris gets a lot of shit on sometimes, when he talks about on average, when he mentions the word on average and makes like a controversial statement, and people say, oh, you can't say that, like, but the on average word is the key word. Like, on average means, if you take the not your neighbor, not your friend, not your mom, not your son, not your cat, and not your dog, on average, meaning if you take all people of this type of group, on average, people believe that or have that or whatever. And that's yeah, that's people don't like humans are very bad at like statistics.
Oh yeah, we can't comprehend numbers that have more than 4 digits in it. Like that's just a fact.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, that's
And I don't know. I watched like a Vsauce video like ages ago that like basically like if you tell people to guess the jelly beans or whatever, if you take the average of the guesses, the average is usually pretty close.
mhm.
But obviously you have the extreme too
Yeah.
high and the extreme too low. So I like average. I don't know. I on averages are a pretty good way to see what's going on. Unlike trend lines and
Yeah.
statistics, but statistics is easily manipulated, which
Yeah.
yeah. So
Depending on how you show it, depending on how the graph looks. If you can see that, I don't want to go into politics, but you can see on certain candidates where they when you show like statistics, and then suddenly, even though people have, there is a higher statistics for a different candidate, they put it on the left, so people don't see it because people are naturally going to look at the right because most people look at the right side of the screen and not the left side of the screen. So even though the one candidate has a higher percentage of approval, they still put it on the left and everyone on the right. So that's how
yeah,
sometimes it works. Like people that are graphic designers that are doing this, they are aware of these effects, and that's why people do that. So it's because I also studied this, and in marketing you learn that you have to fuck over everyone to convince them to buy or sell a certain thing.
it's the worst. I wish we didn't. I wish if oh my god, I guess across every border or whatever, if we just gave up the mentality that stepping on people is how to get ahead. Like
Yep,
if we
that's
literally were to just like lead and also bring others with us and then just like grow together.
no, it's
Ah,
about the greed.
sigh.
It's about greed. That's why
The
capitalism works so
corporate greed.
good. It's such a good like it's such a good it fits like a it fits like a shoe, you know? Greed and capitalism. They're basically simian twins, you know? They work together, they
Yeah,
love each other. They it's like that's why it fits so well because greed seems to be like an inherent trait of humans. But that's not true. Greed is not positive or negative. Greed is actually just survival. If you have more, that's most likely you're going to
yeah.
survive. So it's like it's all old software that is still in your brain. That's basically
Yeah,
it.
totally. And I don't know, nothing is good or bad in my opinion, but I'm also I feel like I'm kind of annoying to talk to lately because I am so middle ground on everything.
Oh,
I
dirty
have no
centrist,
hot takes
dirty
anymore.
centrist. Oh, no, I'm also
But it's
I'm
not,
also I'm also like a
it's
guy
just
that
boring. It's boring to not have a hot take. I don't know.
yeah. But also like sometimes I'm like yeah, I okay. What was the one of the topics I really was like? No, you're thinking too softly. You're thinking too left and right. You have to think outside of the box. There's no left or right. There's no center. It was something about in German language, we have sex-based pronoun, no, sex-based descriptions of everything. So you have like the female programmer and the male programmer, which is Programmierer und Programmiererinnen. You know, we have the end part of the word changes depending if you're female or male. And
Yeah.
there's discussion in Germany that also comes from America that you have to always say Programmiererin, the female version. But most of us, it doesn't matter if female or male, we already just use the male form for everybody. But that's not good.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is actually just use Programmierende, which is basically the word the subjectivized word verb of programming. So every word in German, German language, every word in German, you can basically every verb in German you can turn into a noun. So if you take the word programming, you can put like a postfix into it, and then it turns into a noun. So you take the word, make a postfix, and now it's completely neutral because it's not sex based. But a lot of
Yeah, okay.
people,
That's everything should just be
yeah,
neutral.
but a lot of
They don't
people,
like that, do they?
yeah, but a lot of people seem to think, oh no, we have to use the female version. No, no, no. Think outside of the box. Don't use neither male or female. Use
Yeah.
the subjectivized verb, and that makes for me make more sense, and you solve the complete issue. It just sounds very very bad in German. Like it's a bad, like it's
Oh,
in
it's
the beginning it will
ugly
sound.
sounding. I mean, German isn't the prettiest language. I mean, you know
Yeah,
that too.
yeah, that's true. German is not the most beautiful language. That's true. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, but like I said, sometimes we have to think not only left or right. We have to think completely outside of the box. Like not inside the
Yeah.
box, not on a line, not on a horseshoe. Just break the horseshoe, break the bus, completely destroy the system,
Yeah.
make a new system. New system good, old system bad.
Yeah, honestly, basically humans, we just need to like shake some of our primal urges.
Yep.
And it's hard and it takes a long time, but it's worth it. Like I don't really care for, I mean, okay, no, not that I don't care, but I like, gender neutral pronouns and things like that. Not for like the traditional like trans argument, but just
Mm-hmm.
for the argument of just like anonymity and just like not having stereotypes
Yep.
be like for me, I feel like if you tell a story about me and you say the word like, oh, like she demanded a raise, I'm gonna sound like a fucking bitch. And I am a bitch, but I don't want whoever's hearing the story to assume like it, but if you say they demanded a raise, like that's pretty neutral. Like, yeah,
I
okay.
already used that.
Like,
Like in English, it's so easy. In German, we don't have like we have they, but they is meant for being polite.
plural, like
Yeah,
a
for
lot of
being polite
people.
and plural. So it's impossible to have like a neutral term. But yeah, like I in English I already use it because it's so much easier. The first week you use it is like, oh, that sounds wrong. But the second week is like, yeah, sounds fine. Like in
So
every
much easier, yeah.
yeah, in every script I use they, and it's fine. Like it sounds natural. It sounds like something I would use every day. And like that's what I mean. Like you can break those things and just think in more extreme ways, and therefore then you can solve the problem everyone is having, instead of trying to, you know, act inside of the system. Instead of having 1,000 pronouns, just have one pronoun that is completely neutral, and it makes for me more sense.
Yeah, that's honestly like I'm so much about efficiency,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's just the most efficient
I'm a
thing.
programmer. I'm lazy, okay? Like, that's
But
the.
you're not lazy because you go and research all these things. I'm fucking lazy. I refused at the beginning of my YouTube career to edit a video, to do anything. And I thought that a bitch was gonna go viral. That did not happen, obviously. Well, I didn't think, but we all have our little fantasies, you know.
Yeah, we do. Like, yeah. But dude, I'm telling you, there are like they have examples of YouTube channels that don't have anything. They have also completely uncut videos, no thumbnail, no tags, no description, and they still get 1,000 a million views. So like I said, it's always about luck. It's never about the actual quality of the video. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's still encouraging. I mean, I wouldn't wanna go viral, to be honest. Kind of wanna make more of a not I wouldn't even wanna say movement, and I don't even wanna say community, but I definitely wanna have an established, like, "This is who I am, this is what I believe," considered being the same way if you struggle with whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. And there are good sides of growing slow, and there's like a bad parts. The good side is like you know who you're dealing with, and the people that probably stay are there constantly. They're gonna stay for a while. At the same time, there's a lot of frustration. That's that's like part of the part of the whole process, I think. But I think.
You're only gonna get frustrated if you don't have money, or if that's what you're looking for,
Yeah,
kinda, and I don't look for money anymore, so I'm not frustrated.
yeah.
Or at least maybe sometimes I am frustrated because 'cause I'll edit a video and I'll be like, "Wow, I put a lot of work into that and it doesn't do so good," and then the next day, I'll
That's
just
what
be
I mean.
like,
That's what I mean.
rambling and I'll get more views.
That's what I mean. Like you get frustrated because,
But
oh, I use time and effort, and it's not clearly not I'm not getting anything back. And we all know, like you the I think I talked about someone with someone about that. Like you grow your own stuff organically, not organically, but that's a lie. Nobody grows organically. You have to promote your stuff.
Mm.
But you grow your stuff and you put in the effort. Then at some point, when you're already big, then some weird, some probably underpaid worker from YouTube contacts you and say, "Hey, let me help you get you more." It's like, why now? I could have needed the help back then when it was actually growing. I don't need you. Now I don't need you, YouTube. Now I don't need your mom. I have my own independence.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear now.
Okay, yeah, we're trying so hard and getting so far.
Yeah.
But in the end,
it doesn't even matter.
it didn't even matter.
uh,
Yes.
I completely lost where we were. We can get like a lot
We were talking.
Yeah.
The last thing that you had said was just we're just talking about money and like fulfillment and things like that. Like, I mean, I guess it depends what you want to get out of life. To me, like in all situations, I mean, I'm fortunate to be in a position where I can say this, but I don't give a fuck about money anymore. Like, I live with my parents, I have a part-time job and stuff, but I've let go of this idea that, oh, I want to be rich or whatever. Or like the more money I have equals success and whatnot.
Yeah. I get it as well. Like once you like have a stable life or a little bit of income and you're living happily, you don't need much. They remember always the story about the fisherman and the businessman. Like the businessman comes to the fisherman and says, "Well, why are you resting right now? You could be fishing out there." And like, "Yeah, I already did my job for today. I'm like set for this week." Like he had enough food, and it's like, but you could, and he was resting, mind you. And he was fishing, but you could like rest for the rest of your life. And like, why would I need to do that? Like, you just need to get a boat, a bigger boat, bigger crew. Like, yeah, but why do I need to get a bigger boat? Like, yeah, to get money to rest. Like, but I'm already resting. Why do you need why do I need more of this? Like, it's like you're getting more and more
capitalism.
Yeah, you add more and more just to do whatever you're already doing. So it depends. Like I have my day job to support my ambitions here with YouTube. Like I got my microphone through my day job, like everything. I can afford to pay my artists that I have. I can afford to like maybe buy assets here and there. Like this is like basically I'm working to do other types of work that is way more fulfilling to me. So yeah. it's a trade-off, you work. I also like programming, so it's like that's a good thing. So it's like I doing a work I like to do more work that I like. So for me it works, but I can imagine for a lot of people it doesn't work because there is no job. They don't know what they want to do, or there is no job like they want to do it. So it's kind of difficult for them to get into the system, and a lot of people will fall off the system. That's a sad reality, actually.
Well, a lot of people don't have, we don't really have systems in place to explore, really. And school, I don't know if it's the same in Germany, but it's just become so streamlined. It's unfortunate. So we don't have ways to explore and stuff. Like, I don't know, automation doesn't scare me because it excites me because to me, I'm looking at, wow, humans just got a shit ton of time back to be able to pursue creative and other things. But it's all like, obviously we all need to make money and sustain ourselves and things like that. But I got problems with billionaires and stuff, so I'm not even gonna get into that because that'll be a rant and a half.
I think everyone has problems with billionaires. Like I constantly say that as well. Like in Germany we have for years there's one political party that has been for everyone that is maybe English speaking will probably not understand, but there's most of the times there's like Google auto translations. There's one. I will link in the description the program. It's called the Anstalt, which means if you actually translate the title, it would mean the psych ward. And they talk. It's a program, a satirical or comedy program, but about politics. pretty much like the late night show with John. No, uh, this week on Sunday, whatever, with John Oliver, and
Oh yeah.
and they always talk about this kind of topic, like big corporations, big companies, big governments, and they explain like how it works. And one of the things that I always explain is like one of the things that is often on the thing is like big corporations. They are profiting always on the people that are below, because they they constantly dodge taxes, but you have to pay almost like 40%. Like, or I have to pay, I think, almost 40% on taxes because I live alone, fairly young, so I'm a very high tax bracket. And it's like, yeah, but
Yeah.
my company doesn't pay that. Might pay that. They probably don't even pay 20% or something like that. And it's weird, right? Like
It's
you're
so ridiculous.
you're doing the work, you're creating the value, but they are profiting the most about it, and they don't even pay tax to support the state. So every time, like, especially in America, this idea of, oh, small government and no tax and taxation is stuff. Like, ooh, yeah, not really. Like every time you, and the more I understand about big corporations and the more I learned in uni about it, like the more I got um, frustrated about it. And it's also because we don't have power to change it, right? We can talk about it, we can be frustrated about it. So the
Yeah.
same about YouTube, same about me shitting on Disney, same about everything. It's like I can talk about it, I can be frustrated about it, but at the end of the day, I can really do anything. To get that, like it's
Well, I mean,
maybe it's a little bleak, but
you
yeah,
can do very little.
yeah.
And but we should still encourage everybody to, like, as consumers, we do need to put our money into the smaller, like, we just need to spend our money so wisely and make sure we support companies that are holding themselves to higher moral standards and things
Mm-hmm.
like that while we can, because yeah, like, you can't avoid, like, I always shit on Jeff Bezos every second I get. Fuck that man and fuck Amazon. But
Yep.
I really can't avoid it. Like, I still shop at Whole Foods occasionally,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, but the more we allow these monopolies to monopolize, the less choice we will have. So like, I
Yep.
should be spending my money elsewhere while I can. And yeah, I mean, oh, whatever. I mean, if I'm gonna be a worker for a monopoly, like, please just, like, I don't know, make my life I don't know, pay for my housing too. I don't know. If you're gonna control my life, give me a good life. Fuck.
If you're gonna control my life, control every aspect without leaving me into the gutter, right?
Give me a good life. Yeah, yeah, like, at least give me a good car. Give me, like,
Yeah. That's I think it's a problem that maybe has been there for not it's not a modern problem, right? It is like the difference between um
it's just so sad. We've
yeah,
had so many people, generations of humans just having to just die and die and die and going through all these cycles, and we
yeah,
don't learn. We
it's the same thing, like even
this
if
is
you
that's what's most upsetting. I'll read
yeah,
like old literature and it's still applicable.
if you go to the Middle Ages,
It's so sad.
or you go even if you go to Egypt, probably you're gonna have the this like maybe money won't be the highest valued currency, but then there will be like I don't know, like something like you where you come from where you're
With
born, or
salt and
yeah, or how much
like,
salt you have, or how much wheat you have. Like that would be the currency of then. Like, but even then,
or how much land you have.
yeah, but even then, it's like, yeah, maybe the person with the most amount of wheat is the most powerful, but he also had workers, and they created the value. So this is not a modern problem. This is like an ancient problem. Like it existed before even the concept of money
Yeah,
existed.
this is a human problem.
It's like a yeah, it's like
And which also goes to the main point, which I think is the main point of this conversation, is that just money doesn't mean anything really. Money doesn't mean value.
yeah,
I
the
don't
value
know.
is we assign the value, right? Oh, we being oh shit, I can already see like someone saying, oh, fucking communists, you red coats, like, but yeah,
Oh, I
I'm
am so
sorry.
communist, you guys. I will work hard for my society. I mean, I'm not okay, I'm not actually communist, but like, the it's if you just talk about like any governmental system, because most of the time the descriptions are only like if you were to describe any form of government in like 6 words, communism doesn't sound bad. We all do our part, you know.
Yeah,
It just gets bad when you're like, oh, disabled people, and then you're like, oh well, I didn't realize that you find no value in disabled people, or that you assumed that
under
they
communism it
are
was
not
like, oh,
capable of work.
your value is determined by your work power, basically. Which is
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
oh, yeah, yeah.
it's it's that's why, that's the thing. People think, oh, it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, we
Think my mom always used to say that until I tried to convince her that it's a little bit different, and she got at least the concept. A lot of times, like, oh, it's the worst, oh, it's the worst, especially like religious people say, oh, we're going to the end times. Like, are we really? It has been like nothing has changed, actually. It's the same shit we already
yeah.
have. The only difference is now we have more access to information. uh People are dying less of severe viruses or severe diseases, and there are more people. That's it. Like, other than that, humans are pretty
Yeah,
much
and
the
there's
same
robots in the
humans.
mix too.
Yeah, but other than that, like, humans are still the same humans as they were 1,000 years before.
Yeah.
Nothing really changed. Someone that lived 1,000 years
Just
ago,
as fucked.
yeah, the people that lived 1,000 years ago, they would find themselves, comfortably here. Like, maybe the culture would be a little bit different, but other than that, they were like, yeah, it's fine. We had the same thing. We have the same thing with our goats and our wheat. Yeah, it's
It's true. Honestly, also, since you do edit this stuff, I need you to sample every time that either of us have gone like, and then let's just make a rap and like and like auto tune those every time we've like had to hold our breath, or the
yeah,
time that you like then when you like stick out your tongue and go.
yep, yep.
I feel like we can make a pretty badass rap.
Yep, we can actually do that. That sounds amazing. I Good. I think if we continue down this dangerous path, we're gonna say something that we're gonna regret at some point. So I'm gonna cut it short here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna cut it
yeah.
short here. So I also have to go to sleep at some point.
Oh, all right. Yeah, yeah. No.
um.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I know you're late and stuff. Like you're on the other side of the fucking world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great talking to you.
I still have to the ceremoniously the traditional question of, if someone is starting right now with their YouTube channel, what advice would you give them? And it doesn't matter if you're big or not. It's not about that. It's about like what you experience. What would you like to know before you start a YouTube channel?
Wait, I have to give advice or get advice?
Yeah, yeah. You give advice to the people.
Oh, give advice. Maybe I don't know. Just fucking do it. Just make the video. Maybe put them on private for a little while if you want to gain some skills. Because honestly, the first month is integral for that. And just do it for fun and not for money. Because there's no fucking money.
Yep, that's pretty much
It's not at first, but yeah, I guess that's it. Oh, and another piece of advice is to go follow me and subscribe to me.
Okay,
Kidding.
it's advice and a shilling in one go. That's great. Links will be in the description as always. Take care of yourselves and have a nice day.
Yes, I am starting an entrepreneurial program. All right, bye-bye. Good night.
Bye bye.